What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy is now official and set to headline UFC London. The undefeated contenders will meet in a high-stakes main event, with the winner expected to secure the next title shot against Alexander Volkanovski. This matchup promises elite striking, strong grappling, and non-stop pressure from both sides. Fans are already buzzing about what could be a future championship clash. On the same card, Michael "Venom" Page is also scheduled to compete as he prepares to face Sam Patterson in an exciting welterweight bout. With rising stars, major implications, and intense rivalries, UFC London is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated events of the year. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Conor has reportedly shown interest in a potential fight with Mauricio Rufy following Ruffy's impressive TKO win over Dan Hooker. After the victory, Rufy confidently called out both Paddy Pimblett and Conor, making it clear that he is aiming for the biggest names in the division. In a recent interview, Rufy revealed that Conor had actually mentioned the idea of fighting him as well. He explained that Conor made positive comments about the matchup and said he was open to it. According to Rufy, Conor believes that two high-level strikers facing each other would generate massive attention and sell extremely well. He described it as the kind of fight that fits perfectly with Conor's comeback plans, focusing on excitement, skill, and fan interest. Conor reportedly does not want to return against someone coming off several losses. Instead, he wants an opponent who can electrify the crowd and drive the audience crazy. Rufy said he was surprised and excited when he heard this, responding immediately with full confidence. He agreed right away and said he was 100% in. When the interviewer later asked if Conor had mentioned him by name, Rufy simply replied that what he received was a clear yes. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev has been put on notice by a rising contender who has made it clear that he will not show the champion any special treatment if they ever meet inside the octagon. After capturing the UFC welterweight title last November, Islam continued his dominance by moving up from lightweight and defeating JDM in convincing fashion. That victory marked the beginning of a new era at 170 pounds and established Islam as a two-division force. There are now several fighters hoping to challenge him, and one of the most confident among them is Michael Morales. The undefeated Ecuadorian has been making serious noise in the division and believes his time is coming. At the same Madison Square Garden event where Islam won the welterweight crown, Morales delivered a stunning knockout over Sean Brady, further strengthening his case as a future title challenger. Following his latest first-round finish, the 26-year-old improved his professional record to 19-0 and climbed to the number 3 ranking at welterweight. With that momentum, many believe Morales could soon find himself in line for a shot at the champion, either next or in the near future. In a recent interview, Morales made his mindset very clear. He said that if he fights Islam, he will not approach him with admiration or fear. Instead, he sees him as just another athlete standing in the way of his dream. Morales explained that Islam is a person like anyone else, someone who trains, bleeds, and competes the same way he does. He acknowledged Islam's legacy and achievements, but emphasized that those belong to the champion, not to him. Morales said he has worked too hard to give anyone automatic respect just because they hold the belt. His focus is on becoming champion himself, and nothing will distract him from that goal. According to Morales, he refuses to idolize any opponent. Whether it is Islam or someone else, his objective remains the same: take the title and fulfill his dream. He believes that constant hard work and self-belief will eventually put him in position to do exactly that. However, Morales may have to wait before getting his opportunity. After winning the welterweight title, Islam publicly expressed interest in fighting Kamaru Usman next. He reportedly prefers that matchup over facing contenders like Morales or Ian Machado Gary. This idea has divided fans and analysts. Many argue that Usman does not deserve a title shot, having won only one fight since 2021. Others believe his legendary status still makes him a major draw. For now, it remains unclear whether the UFC will support Islam's request or give a rising contender like Morales the chance to prove himself on the biggest stage. Moving on to another news, Khabib has revealed that he recently had a phone conversation with Ilia, and the details of that call are now starting to come out. According to Khabib, Ilia reached out to him and asked if he could speak to Dana White about making a potential fight with Islam Makhachev happen. This request immediately sparked more excitement around a possible super fight between two of the most dominant champions in the sport. Khabib, who now spends much of his time giving speeches and making sponsored appearances across the Middle East and Dagestan, also invited Ilia to visit Dagestan in the future. During one of his recent appearances there, Khabib was asked directly about the chances of Ilia facing Islam, his personal opinion on Ilia, and whether the two had been in contact before. He confirmed that the phone call did happen and shared some insight into their discussion, highlighting how much attention this potential matchup is starting to receive. While Khabib did not go into every detail, he made it clear that the conversation was respectful and positive. He described Ilia as confident, ambitious, and eager to test himself against the very best. The growing chatter around this fight reflects how much fans want to see two elite champions collide on the biggest stage. The exact reason for the call was not completely clear, but it did not come out of nowhere. A few weeks earlier, Ilia had made some aggressive comments about Khabib's team in public. In response, Khabib jokingly said he would have a talk with him. It was never meant to be confrontational and was more about friendly banter than real tension. Khabib later explained that there is mutual respect between fighters from neighboring regions like Dagestan and Georgia. Even when there are public jabs or bold statements, the relationships behind the scenes are often strong. Teams and fighters from these areas frequently train together and support each other. In the end, this phone call seems to reflect professionalism and mutual understanding rather than conflict. With Ilia openly expressing interest in fighting Islam and Khabib acknowledging the conversation, the possibility of this blockbuster matchup continues to grow. Fans are now watching closely to see if these talks eventually turn into one of the biggest fights in modern MMA history. Moving on to another news. Alex Volkanovski has made it clear who he wants to face next, and he is not interested in taking the easy road. After successfully defending his featherweight title against Diego Lopes, Volk revealed that he would prefer to fight Movsar Evloev over Lerone Murphy. He explained that Movsar represents the new wave of wrestling-heavy fighters who are taking over the division, and he sees that challenge as something he wants to embrace. Volk said that Movsar's grappling and relentless wrestling style has dominated many opponents in recent years, and he believes facing that style is the true test for a champion. Rather than picking favorable matchups, he wants to take on the toughest contenders available. In his view, beating someone like Movsar would further prove his greatness and adaptability inside the octagon. Daniel Cormier also weighed in on the situation, praising Volkanovski as the greatest featherweight of all time. He pointed out that Volk has now won 8 UFC title fights, including 4 victories over Max Holloway and Jose Aldo, two fighters widely considered among the best featherweights in history. DC added that most fighters would avoid opponents like Movsar or Lerone, but Volk is willing to face anyone, which only strengthens his legacy. Volkanovski also reassured fans that retirement is not on his mind. He said he still feels motivated, hungry, and ready to compete at the highest level. He believes he has plenty left to give and wants to continue challenging himself against elite opponents like Evloev and others near the top. Many fans have suggested that Movsar and Lerone should fight each other first to determine the true #1 contender. Volk acknowledged that possibility and said that if they do fight, he expects Movsar to come out on top. He noted that both fighters are undefeated, but Movsar's perfect record and wrestling-heavy approach make him stand out. Volk also briefly addressed the idea of moving up to lightweight. He said that if a title opportunity is offered, he would consider it, but he wants to be honest with himself. Right now, he does not believe he deserves an immediate lightweight title shot. He emphasized that he prefers earning his opportunities rather than chasing shortcuts. Overall, Volkanovski's comments reflect his mindset as a true champion. He is focused on challenges, legacy, and constant improvement, not comfort or easy wins. Moving on to another news. Khabib has revealed the clear path for Umar Nurmagomedov's next fight, and no matter how things play out, it is shaping up to be a massive showdown. Fresh off cornering his cousin to a dominant unanimous decision victory over former flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo at UFC 324, Khabib broke down the performance and explained what comes next. He praised Figueiredo as a tough and intelligent opponent who chose to fight safely, avoiding risky exchanges and refusing to engage in wild battles, which made it difficult for Umar to secure a finish despite controlling most of the fight. According to Khabib, Figueiredo focused on survival and defense, making the contest slower than many fans expected. Umar later admitted that this was one of his worst matches in terms of excitement, as there was very little action. Some fans even booed during the fight, and Khabib agreed that it lacked intensity. saying it felt easier than some of Umar's sparring sessions. Still, he emphasized that the victory was extremely important for Umar's career and positioning in the division. Khabib explained that the next step depends entirely on who Petr Yan defends the bantamweight title against. If the UFC books Yan versus Merab, a rematch that many fans have been asking for, then Umar will face the winner of that fight. However, if Yan ends up fighting someone else, Umar is expected to take on Sean O'Malley in what would be an electric matchup filled with star power and global attention. He also revealed that if the promotion chooses O'Malley to fight Yan instead, then Umar will likely be matched up with Merab. In Khabib's view, the division has now clearly separated into 4 elite fighters at the top: Merab, Yan, Umar, and O'Malley. He said it was very important for their team to establish Umar as part of this top group. Khabib reflected on the Figueiredo fight by saying that while it was hard to finish a former champion, the experience showed Umar's maturity and discipline. He believes Umar is now ready for any of the top contenders and is close to earning a title shot. With multiple blockbuster matchups on the table, Umar's future in the bantamweight division looks brighter than ever. Moving on to another news. Paddy Pimblett is making headlines again following his recent loss, this time by speaking openly about the eye pokes he says he suffered during his fight with Justin Gaethje. Just 1 week after his brutal, unanimous decision defeat in their interim lightweight title bout, Paddy shared an update on his recovery and did not hold back about what bothered him the most. While the bruising and swelling on his face have mostly faded, his eyes took serious damage during the fight. According to Paddy, his eyes were left puffy, irritated, and extremely uncomfortable, and he believes he suffered a scratched cornea due to repeated eye pokes. He even went to the hospital as a precaution, where doctors ran scans to make sure there was no major damage. Fortunately, the results came back clean, with no fractures and no structural issues, only lingering bruising and ongoing eye problems. Despite all of that, Paddy made it clear that he has no plans to slow down. He quickly shut down any talk of a long layoff, saying he is already preparing to return. He revealed that he has been lifting weights this week and plans to be back in the gym immediately. There is no intention of sitting out the rest of the year or disappearing from competition. Instead, he is targeting a return this summer and wants to stay active in the division. Paddy also admitted that he is already thinking about a rematch with Gaethje. He said he hopes Justin defeats Ilia in their upcoming unification bout, setting up another opportunity for them to meet again. This loss marked the first defeat of Paddy's UFC career, ending his 9-fight win streak in the promotion, but he is determined not to let it define him. In his own words, Paddy joked about his appearance, saying people thought his face was a complete mess, but he feels mostly fine. He laughed and said the only real problem is his eyeballs, which were scratched up by fingernails. He admitted that for a few days his face looked rough with big shiners and swollen eyes, but he insisted there is nothing seriously wrong with him now. He explained that photos shared online made the damage look worse than it really was, especially ones taken at its worst point. Now, a week later, he says the swelling is gone and he feels ready to train again. Paddy finished by repeating that he will not take months off and plans to fight in the summer, stay active, and keep himself firmly in the conversation instead of fading away. Moving on to another news, UFC legend Matt Brown has shared his honest thoughts on Paddy Pimblett's current position in the lightweight division, saying that the popular star still has a lot to prove. Following Paddy's loss to Justin Gaethje at UFC 324, many fans questioned whether he was truly ready for that level of competition. While Brown does not believe Paddy was fraud-checked, he does think the fight exposed some unanswered questions about his ceiling. Based on current rankings, Paddy does not yet own a victory over any fighter in the top 15. His biggest win came against Michael Chandler, who holds a mixed record in the UFC, with his most notable performance coming against Dan Hooker in 2021. Although Paddy showed heart and toughness in his 5-round battle with Gaethje, he never seriously threatened the champion and ultimately lost in dominant fashion. Speaking on the fighter versus the writer, Brown admitted that he struggles to favor Paddy against most elite contenders. He said he does not know if he would pick him against anyone in the top 10 or even the top 12 or 13. In his view, the lack of a clear measuring stick makes it difficult to properly evaluate where Paddy stands among the division's best. Brown also pointed out that Paddy's next fight will be crucial. After competing for an interim title, it would not make sense to match him with lower-ranked opponents. Instead, he believes Paddy should face serious contenders who can truly test his level. One name Brown strongly supports is Benoit Saint-Denis. The French lightweight is riding 4 straight finishes and has rebuilt his momentum after losses to Dustin Poirier and Renato Moicano. Since then, he has defeated Dan Hooker, Mauricio Ruffi, Beneil Dariush, and Kyle Prepolec, building a resume that compares favorably to Paddy's. Brown believes Saint-Denis is the perfect opponent to determine where Paddy really belongs. He argued that if Paddy just fought for an interim title, there should be no matchup he avoids. In his view, all elite fights are fair at this stage. He added that Saint-Denis deserves the opportunity because of his willingness to fight top opponents and his exciting style. A win over Paddy would greatly boost his profile and confirm him as a real title threat. At the same time, it would finally reveal Paddy's true level. Brown concluded by saying that while Saint-Denis' position is becoming clear, Paddy remains a mystery. With both fighters strong on the ground and dangerous on the feet, he believes the matchup could deliver an intense and entertaining battle that answers many questions.